these irises are done by Bauhaus master artist Hans Friedrich Gross, painted in 1912. We have the complete graphic works of Hans Friedrich Gross. It was donated by his daughter, but
that's impressive.
the relationship with this donor, as you can imagine, it's going for over 20 years. One of the faculty members, and so during our 25th anniversary, she announced the donation of this picture, but also the several hundred of the complete graphic works. Gross was listed as a degenerate artist by the Nazis, by Hitler, and in fact, that's almost like a badge of courage nowadays to have that. But you mentioned the frames, the simple white frame, and this comes from an exhibition. It's very modern at the time, by another German expressionist artist who curated it, Franz Marc, and he just had all the artists put a simple white frame around these pictures. If you imagine it being in a gold frame, it may even seem sort of more appropriate, but the frame has a life with the picture, and so...
So that's the original?
That's the original, and we have photographs of it being exhibited with these white frames. And, but this is a very cutting-edge time, the early 1900s, especially at the great Bauhaus. Hans Friedrich Gross had a little bit of a disagreement with Walter Gropius, the man who directed and ran the art school, and so he went out on his own later. But we do have several hundred works by this artist, and we're very glad, because you could study them now completely.
The colors are magnificent. It's beautiful.
Well, this was hanging in the daughter of the artist in her house just outside Birmingham, Alabama. And so she had art everywhere. And he liked flowers. We have other sunflowers, and this is sort of a homage to Vincent van Gogh, before Van Gogh was really even, remember, Van Gogh died in 1889, and this was painted in 1912, so he wasn't sort of embraced as the great artist he is today for much longer. This picture is not really a painting of a flower, but in fact it's a very modern picture. It's only entitled White Flower, but we believe it maybe is a tulip, an up-close view of a white tulip. And of course, Georgia O'Keeffe is famously known for her flowers. Well, this went a few years ago to an exhibition in Scotland, a retrospective, and it was one of the top 4 or 5 pictures in the whole exhibition. We believe she helped design the frame with the first director of the Fine Arts Department, Leslie Cheek, because once again, it's very modern, and you see frames a bit like this on other works. But it was found, sort of and remarked upon, being hanging in a room near the theater. And President Tom Graves in the early 1970s had a new young faculty member, Miles Chappell, who was resident of our community, go and survey all these things that the college had, and they couldn't believe they had a Georgia O'Keeffe sort of unprotected on the wall in just a public room. And so they started putting together all these things, and that's sort of how the museum was formed, was the real value of this picture, and the thought that they have to put these things together and save them. And so in 1983, the first phase of the museum opened with a famous director, who's famous now, Glenn Lowry, who's the director of the Museum of Modern Art in New York.
And longtime director, they're doing a great job.
That's right, he is.
But he really gave this place a great start. He really did.
Another unknown gem by Frank Auerbach. He's been considered and called one of the most famous painters in England living today. And this, if you can imagine, is a nude figure on a bed. And this comes from a very important early period when he painted very thickly on canvas. There are a group of works from this period. This is a $1 million painting that wasn't even hanging for many years here at the college. But it is kind of from an important group. Lucian Freud was a close collaborator and friend. Actually, it was Lucian Freud that said that he thought Frank Auerbach was the greatest painter today. So you have to wonder about artists in those statements. But you can kind of see it. And the students and faculty have asked to have it out in sort of a highlight on this wall. And I think we're happy to bring out and show works from the collection. In fact, that's what a museum essentially is about. You preserve things for the future. And by exhibiting them, we give members of the community and students an opportunity to really experience one-on-one a real thing. It's so easy to go on the internet and look at electronic images, and that's wonderful, but
But they look different.
they look
Yeah,
different.
they really don't have the same emotion or the same movement if you're just looking at it in a reproduction of it. This is really, really a fascinating painting. It's
But when
just-
you get close, it's actually very thick on there, and I think that's it, the engagement with a real object. And you know from being a longtime museum professional that the most important thing in a museum is not the person here or the work there, it's the space in between. How do you bridge that gap and create that spark of engagement? And so some people don't see that it's a figure on a bed, but it does kind of come into focus when you look at it.
Oh, as soon as you said it, it's right there. Yeah, it's really, it's wonderful. Wish I could do something like that, but I'm glad to be appreciating it. We've done a great job here, really. It's a real treasure in our community, and I hope more and more people will come and see this. We've just seen a few of the highlights today, but there's a lot of other really interesting paintings and a few sculptures here in the gallery.
We really want to have a reason for people to come back, and I think it's been nice. The community's been very supportive. Appreciate your support and everything else.
Thank you for taking the time to be with me today to tell me some of the secrets of this great collection.
Well, I'm very happy to have you here, and we're very glad to be a good partner in the community, and we appreciate all your support and that of the college, and we think we are a gem in the community, so hopefully we'll see you back again.
Well, I'm looking forward to all those traveling shows.
Thank you very much.